Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my channel Brainy Teach. Once again I am here with the new video of history, chapter 6, Kingdom, Kings and an Early Republic. But before starting the video, I request you all to like and subscribe the video. You can also write down the comments there. So let us start the explanation. The first topic of the chapter is how some men become rulers. Around 3,000 years ago, we find that some people they were chosen as Raja by performing the very big sacrifices. The Ashwamedha and the horse sacrifices was one of such ritual. A horse was let loose to wander freely and it was guarded by the Raja's men. If the horse wandered into the kingdom of other Rajas and they stopped it, they had to fight. But if they allowed the horse to pass, it means that they had accepted that the Raja who wanted to perform the sacrifices was stronger than them. Then these Rajas were invited to the sacrifice, which was performed by specially trained priests. The Raja was the central figure of that ritual. Ordinary people, they also bring gift for the Rajas. Only one category is excluded from many of the rituals, and that category was of Shudras. According to the Veda, Indian society is divided into different groups. The first group or are or the Varanas was of Brahmin. Brahmins were expected to study and teach the Vedas. They usually perform sacrifices and receive gifts. In the second place, there were rulers. They were also known as Kshatriyas, and they were expected to fight battles and protect people. The third Varna was of Vish or Vaishya. They were expected to be farmers, herders, and traders. Both Kshatriyas and Vaishyas they could perform sacrifices. The last Varna was of Shudras who had to serve the other three groups and they could not perform any rituals. The Raja who performed these big sacrifices, they become the Rajas of Janpadas. That means the land where the Jana set its foot and settled down. The people, those are living in these Janpadas, they lived in huts and they keep cattle. They also grow a variety of crops like rice, wheat, barley, pulses, sugarcane, sesame seeds, and mustard. These people, they were masters of pottery. They know how to make earthen pots. They made a special type of pottery named as painted grey ware. These grey pots were painted designs, usually simple lines and geometrical patterns. The archaeologists they have excavated a number of settlements from these Janpadas, such as the Purana Killa in Delhi, Hastinapur near Meerut, and Atranji Khera near Etah. Around 2500 years ago, some Mahajanpada they become so important than others, and they were also known as Mahajanpadas. These Mahajanpadas they had a capital city which was fortified. That means a huge wall of wood, brick, or stone were built around them. Now the question arises that why these Rajas of Mahajanapadas they make fort. So the first reason for this may be that they were afraid of other kings and they needed protection. The second reason may be that some ruler wanted to show how rich and powerful they were. And the third reason might be that the land and the people living inside the fortified area could be controlled more easily by the king. Now the new Rajas, they started maintaining their armies. They paid regular salaries to the soldiers. As the ruler of Mahajanapadas, they were making the huge forts and they were maintaining the big armies. For this, they needed more resources. So they started collecting the occasional gifts from the people and they started collecting regular taxes. The farmers, they have to pay 1/6 of the crop which was produced, and it is also known as bhaga or share as a tax. The craft person, they had to work for a day every month for the king. Herderers were also expected to pay taxes in the form of animals and animal produces. Traders, they have to pay on goods that were brought and sold. Hunters and gatherers, they had to be provide forest produces to the Raja as king, as the tax. In the time of Mahajanapadas, there were major changes came in the field of agriculture. The first changes that occurred was the growing use of iron plowshare. That means the iron plowshare, it turns the heavy clay soil better than the wooden plowshare. Now the second change that came at this time was that the people, they started transplanting paddy, which leads to increased production as many more plants survived. Now let us have a look on one of the important Mahajanapada, that is Magadha. Magadha was an important Mahajanapada. The river Ganga and Son, they flowed through it, which was important for transportation, water supply, making the land fertile. Some part of the Magadha was forested, so the elephant which live in these forests, they were captured and trained for the army. The wood was taken from these forests for building houses, carts, and chariots. Bimbisara and Ajatasattu, both of them were very powerful rulers, and Mahapadma Nanda was another important ruler. He extended his control up to the northwest part of the subcontinent. Rajgriha was the capital of Magadha for several years. Later, the capital was shifted to Patliputra. Let us have another look, a closer look to another powerful kingdom, Vajji. Vajji was a powerful kingdom with the capital at Vaishali. It was under a different form of government known as Gana or Sangha. In this, many rulers, they ruled the kingdom togetherly. They performed many rituals together. They met in an assembly and decided what to do and what to be done and how, through discussions and debate. Both Buddha and Mahavira, they belong to Gana or Sangha, and the description of the life in these Sangha is found in the Buddhist book. That's all in this video. I hope that you have gained more knowledge from it. Thank you.